But let's get into some coaching candidates because everybody's going to be talking about that and wondering about that. There's one name that I'm hearing louder and more than anyone else, and that is former Orlando Magic point guard and Magic Hall of Famer Penny Hardaway. So before I share my opinion on this, because it has been somewhat polarizing today on Twitter, Luke, what is your opinion on the Magic potentially hiring Penny Hardaway as the next head coach?
No. No. Why? Other than the fact that he donned the pinstripes and make a cool story, guess what? We got that with Skiles. See ya. Clifford had history with the Magic. Brought him back. It's kind of nostalgic. See ya. Penny Hardaway, I mean, he is the epitome of nostalgia for Magic fans. You see a number one, you're thinking Penny or T-Mac. And Penny is just, it would bring up the warm and fuzzies, or Jonathan Isaac, as Kevin Tucker
That's
points to
right,
as
baby.
number one. So yeah, and Jonathan, I think I'm along the same lines you're thinking, so I don't want to take too much from what you're going to say as well. But he's not been incredible at Memphis. They made it to the NIT, which for people that don't watch college basketball, that's the not invited to March Madness tournament. And so yeah, I'm not interested in Penny Hardaway as a coach. Maybe in a few years, if hopefully the Magic aren't looking for another coach in the next few years. But if Penny has had success and voices his interest in a head coaching job with the Magic, then great. But as of now, there's a lot more that's appealing to me on in terms of NBA free agent head coaches that aren't and might be assistants or haven't held a job. Yeah, there's just a lot better candidates to me than Penny Hardaway, and I'm just not really interested in that right now.
Yeah, for me, when it comes to Penny, I love it. For an assistant, if he wants to come be an assistant, I think that'd be amazing. And I get the idea. I get the idea and the nostalgia. It would be amazing to see him on the sideline. But yeah, I'm with you. And it's not about Penny for me. It's about a rookie head coach in general. I don't think
Right.
that is what this team needs.
Well, and a rookie head coach who hasn't like been an assistant or
Right.
whatever at the NBA level, because I'm fine with assistants, and I'll talk about that later too, because I have my eye on one or two. But yeah, no, I definitely would agree. Like someone who just isn't familiar with the NBA scene besides playing in it, and we can get into other coaches that have benefited from being playing in the NBA and now are coaches when they were a rookie, like had no experience. But we'll get into that later, I think.
Yeah. So that's where I stand with Penny. Is it's not about Penny to me. It's about I just don't think a rookie NBA head coach is the right move right here. I think we need someone who knows the league, knows how to coach, has proven at some level. I'm not saying we need to have a guy who's got rings and stuff. There aren't a lot of those guys, but someone has proven that he can take care of an NBA roster and bring wins. So yeah, I love the nostalgia. I think having him, like I said, as an assistant, that would be amazing. Think about him as an assistant working with Markel and with RJ and with Cole and then Cade or Jalen, hopefully. That'd be amazing. But as a head coach, not yet, man.
Yeah, I totally get the story, the excitement. Like if the Magic decide that that Penny Hardaway is the right guy and they're that's who they're going to go with, I feel like the front office made the right decision in going from Frank Vogel to Steve Clifford, and unfortunately, it didn't really work out. But I'm confident that they are going to make a good hire. So for whatever reason, I don't see it right now. But if they think that Penny Hardaway is the guy, then at least for a little bit, I'll believe that he's the guy. And that press conference, I can assure you, it would be a very exciting day to be an Orlando Magic fan, as Jeff Weltman would say. But when you just look at the level of experience that he has, I mean, he had a couple of years at East High School in Memphis, and then he's had 2 seasons at Memphis. Now, the first season, you can kind of give him a pass. James Wiseman I might have played in one game if he even played in that season. He got ruled ineligible by the NCAA, and then last year, they played in the NIT. I just don't think he's shown enough success at any of those levels to constitute a team that is now, again, hate to keep repeating this, hiring its 7th head coach in 9 seasons. You can't take that kind of risk. Not to mention, the first time that Penny exited from Orlando, it was a tumultuous end. Like there were times that Penny was not sure if he was going to be a Orlando Magic Hall of Famer. He didn't know if that relationship was going to be mended. And some people would say this should be irrelevant. To me, it's not. I don't think it's worth the risk that if you hire him and it doesn't work out, then you go and you fracture that relationship all over again. And that would be tough for a lot of fans, myself included. I love Penny Hardaway. Like usually I have a Penny Hardaway signed jersey hanging up right behind me here. Don't get it twisted. I love Penny, but I just don't believe that he's the right coach for the job. Now, somebody in the chat here is saying, Skiles was an old man. Penny has won at every level so far. Guess what? Scott Skiles wasn't the right hire either. So we can't sit here and kind of pick and choose between Orlando Magic legends. I just don't think that's the right thing to do. But I wish Penny all of the best. I want him to be successful. And if that ends up happening, then I'm sure he'll get his chance at being an NBA head coach at one point or another. But I just don't think that this is the right time. So,
and if I just may put you guys on the spot, would you be okay with him as an assistant though? Like
absolutely.
Someone else comes in as a head coach.
Absolutely.
I would assistant, right?
I would be ecstatic if Penny was an assistant coach for the Magic.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of coaches that, guess what? Spoiler alert. Most of the time, guys don't get their head coaching debut in the NBA unless they've been an assistant or had some experience in the film room or like whatever it might be. It's not like this is common sense. And this is just like facts that are backed up. Like dudes don't get looked at don't get looked at super hard unless a player is vouching for them and wants them to be their head coach, or B has been in the NBA as a coach in some capacity with a team. I mean, why wouldn't you want a guy that's been an assistant or a head coach and take it and run with it? Do that. Why are we wanting to take a long shot on a guy that like is just Penny's a younger, like he's new on the scene, he's fresh. Why would you want to bring him in to grow when he's supposed to be growing players? Like I just don't think that you need I don't need to hear about like the potential of Penny Hardaway as a coach while I'm hearing about the potential of Cole Anthony and RJ Hampton. Like I just don't want to deal with that. Like it just feels like a lot.
Yeah, and another thing for me is if you do, sometimes we see like stats side by side comparison, you get rid of the names. If you get rid of the name Anthony Hardaway and look at his coaching resume, you go, that guy's not even close to the NBA right now. He's not even sniffing it. Maybe an assistant job, maybe, but it's because of who he is. And I get it. Like we've all said, I get it. It'd be a dream scenario. Maybe one day he's the head coach of the Magic and leads us to a title, but I just don't see it right now.
Yeah, for me, it's a great story, but again, I'm just not willing to take the risk on, anybody that's inexperienced. I don't care if it's Penny Hardaway. I don't care if it was Shaq. If Shaq wanted to come back and coach the Magic, I'd say absolutely not. No way. Obviously,
that dude doesn't even watch the NBA except when he's on set for TNT. He's still learning players' first names. Why would I want him as a?
Okay, that's an actual fact. Now, Penny is a little bit,
Right.
further along in his coaching experience, but it's just the fact that, again, like when we talk about Steve Nash, because that's like the hot topic right now. He's the last guy that got hired without really a ton of experience. That was handpicked by Kevin Durant. That was the guy that he wanted to coach. He was a player development coach with the Golden State Warriors, so he had at least some experience, coaching in some capacity at the NBA level. But I feel like we're hating on Penny, and that's like what really sucks about this, because it's driving such a wedge in Magic fans, because people love Penny, and if you say anything bad about Penny, like it just comes across very polarizing, and that's the part that sucks. Feels like we're crapping on him. We're not. This is just a really, really, really important hire. Like this just cannot go wrong. So